It still impresses me that the MLP staff delayed introducing the story of Applejack's parents until the middle of season 7, and yet still managed to get so much praise from the community as a whole. One of the most persistent sources of fan theories, fan fictions, along with an endless supply of artwork and even animation, now has a canon couple for the Apple parents. It was a very satisfying conclusion to a long-running mystery. But it kind of begs the question, where can Applejack go from here? After 7 seasons, how else can you challenge or grow her character in a meaningful way without betraying what you've built up over all this time? I mean, does Applejack even want to change anything in her life from how it is right now? She has her family, her farm, her friends, and even gets to go out on adventures throughout Equestria from time to time. This is not to say that she can't be a part of any outside future conflicts, but what else is left in her personal character arc at this point? Well, I think the answer to that question lies in the fact that after learning about their parents, the Apple family seemed closer than ever, with another grandparent that they didn't even know they had. So, wouldn't it make sense that the next step for Applejack is to change that status quo? It seems like the MLP writers have already been dropping hints for that very setup. Like Big Mac starting a relationship with Sugar Belle? Wouldn't surprise me that somewhere down the line, we might see an episode where Big Mac would want to have Sugar Belle move to Ponyville, and then we'd see both Applejack and Apple Bloom confronting the idea that Big Mac may very well need to strike out on his own someday. I mean, they could simply keep Big Mac on the farm forever and just have Sugar Belle always nearby, but for me, there's more potential for mature lessons if the family needs to deal with change. For example, how could Applejack run the farm without Big Mac around all the time? But then again, should she really be keeping him here for the sake of the farm if it's losing him a genuine opportunity at a happy life? In such a scenario, you could even draw parallels to Bright Mac and Pear Butter, which can thankfully be referenced in the show all we want nowadays. In my opinion, it's a fair way to introduce further development to Applejack's character arc. On top of that, though, we could also use a few similar elements with Granny Smith. It's no secret that she's been worried about getting older and not wanting to be useless around the farm, and I figure that her stubborn nature has kept her from retiring outright. However, what if she reached a point where she no longer had a choice? Like, say, her health had deteriorated so far that she needed to live in a care center. Now, both Granny Smith and Applejack would stand firm in their belief that families should stick together, and certainly wouldn't want her to leave the farm she's lived in her whole life. At least, at first. But if Applejack was doing everything she could to care for Granny Smith, and over time realized just how much pain she was going through, that could turn out a very mature and even heartfelt lesson that I don't believe MLP has addressed just yet. Now, it's not like they'd be writing Granny Smith or Big Mac out of the show here. It'd be very easy to have Big Mac have a place of his own nearby, and even have Granny Smith be in a care center just outside of Ponyville itself, and even be able to visit on occasion. But the Apple family home wouldn't be quite the same anymore now, would it? Applejack needing to face the reality that her family is changing both for the better and for the worse towards an unknown future. Throw in a few moments of little Apple Bloom not seeming quite so little anymore, and you've got at least a couple of really good stories that not only provide some meaningful conflicts, but some genuine development for Applejack's character arc in the long run. It would mean making some changes to the status quo, but then if the MLP writers kept everything the same forever, then how would any of the characters be challenged anymore? What do you think? I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.